usually you'll feel your air bubbles now when you're centering. It's one reason you cool it to make it. It's like wedging it on the wheel head. If the clay's not perfectly even, you'll feel the air bubble and you can get it out and you can actually make the walls. I've had pots so thin when I popped the air bubble in the hole.
Well, probably you need an experience to understand whether it's an air bubble or it's just the center.
Usually there's a little lump there.
Yeah.
I get lumps. I don't know. I get lumps.
Okay. Have it centered. Thumbs. By the way, I never open this way. Only when I'm demonstrating. Because I find I'm stronger and have more control this way. You see, it's doing basically the same thing. And then you put your hand in and make the bottom. Some people try to do it this way, but it's hard to do. This is much easier. And if you rest your hand on this top edge, it keeps it true. Okay, you wanted to see a narrow base piece? Did you want to see a narrow base piece?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I better open it a little bit deeper. Because basically you want to make sure you get as much as you can out of that clay that you got there. And you also have to be able to get your hand all the way down in there. So if you open it with a really narrow opening, you can't get down to the bottom with your hand. So, what shape were you interested in? Just like that? Yeah. Okay. So, same thing, open, make sure it's all centered, push in, push out a little bit, lift up, keep that top edge true. Now the top edge is going to be a little bit thicker than it is down here. It helps keep it under control. Wet wall, push in, push out. One more time. I think I feel an air bubble.
What happens with those?
Nothing. You have a weak spot on the pot. Don't tell anyone, but it's kind of a myth that you have, if you trap air, if you fire slowly, you can fire things with big cavities. But you have to fire very slowly. If you fire fast enough that it will just blow up. You might have a little hole in there after the fire.
Yeah, I saw something blew up in one of the electric cones.
Yeah, it was a little too fast and that was too wet and way too thick. It was very, very, very thick. If I'd stayed, I was saving that for an example to talk about before unloading it. Okay, pushing in. Look how far I'm pushing in. See my finger on the inside? See where it is? It's up above. So my outside finger. Now look at the inside size. See, it's right down from where it was. Still want to be able to get my hand into it. So I'm going to close this off a little bit. It's much easier if it's kind of facing in and leave this a little bit thicker up here if you want to make something like that. If it starts wiggling, you can always use the rib to straighten it out. You can use your fingers to bulge it out. I like to use a rib. Oh, there's the air bubble. Sometimes you'll just feel it, but unless you rib it, you won't find it. So I'm going to take the rib, go down, starting about here, and bulge it out. this I'll be bringing in after I'm done with shaping it. So I'm going to bring it in a bit. To do that, make a triangle with your hands. Thumbs up just a little bit.
So you cut in 3 points?
Uh-huh. Is that the shape you were looking for?
No. Basically, you cannot make a piece narrower than your hand, right? Unless probably it's
just wait.
straight.
Bring that in. Always make sure you don't leave a puddle of water in the bottom. Now, you want it narrower? You want it narrower? You can push it in from the outside. This is the last thing you do. Just like I showed you with the bowl, where you go from where it really doesn't need trimming, it's just right here. Go down to the wheel head, and then once it's touching the wheel head, you can push it in even more. So watch. Trim off this extra clay.
So now you're pushing.
That is so cute.
It's so pretty.
Because if you start with it like that, it's going to be really hard to throw. You want that support down there. And at the last minute, this is going to start wiggling around if I go really fast. Now to refine the shape, I can use the side of this, just like the rib. Just come back over it and shape it a little bit. Little foot. And to take it off, since I ribbed it, it's nice and dry on the inside. Here, you pick it up.
No,
Your hands dry?
I'm better. Yeah.
Put both hands as low as you can, and put them against it before you, and then tilt it a little bit. Tilt a little, tilt.